How's it going, everyone? It's another Friday, and that means it's another blog post. Now, last week, if you remember, we covered the EGX Resin showcase for Hytale, and in that showcase, they actually revealed Zone 3. Well, today, a visual tour of Zone 3 was posted to Hytale's website, so let's jump right in. As detailed in the Introduction to WorldGen back in January, each of Hytale's zones is procedurally generated using its own rules for topography and underground geography. Zones are comprised of multiple biomes and were created using unique sets of prefabs for each. Taken together, this allows them to create expansive landscapes that have a distinctive visual identity and atmosphere. At launch, each zone will have a name. You may have caught a glimpse of a few of them in some of the materials that they've put out already. These names are not final, which is why they've been referring to the zones by their names over the last couple of months. We will let you know when the finalized names are ready to be revealed, and bear in mind that as ever, all of these screenshots and video clips are work in progress content and are not representative of the final game. Zone 3 is a wintry region comprised of forested valleys, tall mountains, and deep caves. Each zone has an affinity with a particular aspect of elemental magic. In Zone 3's case, that means water in all of its forms, from winding rivers to snow-capped peaks and icy glaciers. The wildlife you encounter in Zone 3 differs from what you will find elsewhere. This shot shows a bird variant, a woodpecker, with more to encounter as you explore, from wolves to polar bears and rams. Speaking of rams, here's a picture of one. Last time you've seen him, he was riding into battle in the announcement trailer. Dig through the snow and ice and you'll find winding cave systems illuminated by bioluminescent mushrooms. Mine entrance prefabs like this one are found throughout the world. This example of Zone 3 is bigger than most and provides access to pre-existing underground structures, handy if you don't fancy digging a tunnel in the hard way. This is an example of how multiple mineshaft prefabs can be dynamically combined to create a unique underground environment. It spawns multiple prefabs that flow effortlessly because each prefab node ends in a staircase or ladder, explains World Team developer Baxter. The next prefab will continue that staircase or ladder, making it have the rad flow was the most important thing for me to get right, he says. The same process is used to generate dungeons. In this example, you can see the rock and snow of a procedurally generated cave leading into a prefab dungeon encounter, including a skeletal defender. Back on the surface, time of day and weather changes dramatically alter how the landscape feels. Here, the setting sun introduces a burst of orange and pink to Zone 3's palette of cool blues, grays, and browns. Rendering and lighting effects are enormously useful for creating atmosphere. Zone 3 is an area of natural beauty that played host to some of the darkest moments in Orbis's history. There's a somber sense to the region, even when you're surrounded by nature. Central to that history are the Outlanders who call Zone 3 their home. We'll be revealing more about this breakaway human faction in the future, but in the meantime, here's another example of how Hytale's prefab system generates camps and forts based on designs laid out by their concepts artists. Outlander camps are imposing and bristle with defense features like high walls and watchtowers, but who are they attempting to keep at bay? You'll have a chance to uncover the answer yourself as you explore. Sturdy thatched buildings and communal fire pits provide a different perspective on life in Zone 3. It's not all ice and danger out here in the wild, but then again, sometimes it is. Anyway guys, that is it for today's blog post. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like down below. And as well as if you would like to get to know me and the community, our Discord is also in the description. If you want to read the blog post for yourself, it is also down in the description. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe with that notification bell. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, Fezzy the Frog, signing off.